Hi, this is Jan from Twinks Stampin'. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I've come along today to show you how to make a couple of cards using the So Much Love Cling Stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is a brand new set and I was drawn to it immediately because I do love a flower that is easy to cut out if you want to and is quite versatile. Okay. And the cards that we're going to be making, we're actually going to make two today because they're both going to be very quick cards. Both in my favourite colour, Balmy Blue. Just slightly different. I think what I did was when I received the stamp set, I stamped out both the images onto a piece of card. And then just went from there and landed up with two cards that are very, very similar. Yeah, so we'll get started. Okay. You're going to need, I think we'll do the blue one first, so we'll leave it there so that you can see it. You're going to need a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock, measuring 14.8 by 21, scored at 10.5 centimetres. That's your base card. Your white mat is 10 centimetres by 14.3 centimetres. You're then going to need some piece of card for your flower, stamp your flower. A strip that measures, I've lost me a bit of paper so I'll have to use my ruler, is 3 centimetres by 14.3. So that's 3 centimetres by 14.3. And then a strip of white, Whisper White card, 14.3 by about, I would say, I've probably cut that at about 2.5 centimetres. And then I've run it through the Dainty Diamonds. Actually, no, I didn't. Let's stop there. What I've done is I've actually cut myself quite a few pieces of cardstock, and because I do my mats all the same width, 14.3, I've run this through the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder, and then each time I want to use it, I know it's the right length, so I just trim off a piece. In this instance, I wanted to cut just one edge, so I think that was probably about 2 centimetres. But what I did is I do the edge, put the die on first, which is from the Peony dies. Put this strip on first, cut my strip, and then put it back in my cutter and cut off how wide I want it. Because I do love having that bit of texture on there. Okay, so that's the easiest way I've found of doing that. Is just sort of putting it in your, having a spare piece and putting it in your cutter whenever you needed it. Okay, so that will go under there, or you can butt it up, whichever way. I think I probably butted it up when I stuck it down. Okay, so that's all you're going to need. That is going to be a very quick card. I think what I might do while I'm stamping, I may as well stamp the other flower at the same time so that we only have to have the heat gun on twice, because we're going to need it on once for doing this, again for your sentiment. It does make a difference, I'm sorry, but it does. The sentiment, as you know, absolutely changes when you put embossing powder on it. Okay, so I will do that. I will stamp our flowers first. Sorry, I get distracted very easily. Okay, I'm going to use my embossing buddy. I was watching a video today by my upline Kim Fee, and she reminded me when she was telling everybody to use the embossing buddy when you're using embossing powder, because your fingers will leave grease on your paper, and the embossing powder will pick that up, and that will spoil your embossing. Okay, so that's that done. And now I am going to ink up my flowers. I'm using the large one and the smaller one. And that one. Lovely, lovely clear images. Look at that. Beautiful. I'll just bring in my embossing powder. You can get clear embossing powder from Stampin'Up. I do believe the numbers are 109, 130. I get through lots of this as well, as you can imagine. Again, I just think it adds something special to your images by embossing them. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to be making up a nose now. I will be as quick as I possibly can. Try not to waft your heat gun. All you need to do is literally, as soon as you start to see it, the colour changing, just move along, because again you can overcook this, you can spoil it completely, it'll go dull, and you don't want to do that. Okay, is that done? Sorry about that noise. Right, I think we're going to sit down now. I'm going to colour these in using my Balmy blue combo, a light and a dark blender pens. Lovely, lovely, lovely colour. It's quite a subtle colour, isn't it? In fact, I think I might use the darker one, just the dark one. Yeah, I'll just use the darker one. I bet this would look nice with the seaside spray too. That's a nice blue. Feels like we're going to have a storm in a minute. It's ever so muggy outside. Or muggy, as my daughter would call it. We lived in Yorkshire for 13 years when she was young. She was very young. And she picked up the northern accent. And every now and then she comes out with words that uses the northern accent. Strange, because my youngest son was actually born in Yorkshire. I'm going to do the other colour, this one. Was actually born in Yorkshire and lived there till he was 10 or 9 or 10. I can't remember exactly how old he was. And yeah, he doesn't use any words that are northern, with a northern accent. He's got a southern accent, the same as us. So it's just my daughter. She comes out every now and then with grass and bath, and seems strange sometimes. Yeah, I did love living in Yorkshire. I was sad the day we had to leave. Really sad. Everything happens for a reason, eh? Oh, I do love living where I am now, really near, close to the sea. I don't live right next to the sea, as in I can't, I could walk there. It would take me about 40 or 30 minutes to walk down to the beach, but not even that, I don't think. But I've got this fear, and I know it's an irrational fear because it's probably would never ever happen here, is tsunamis and lots of water. Water actually quite scares me, and yet I used to swim for a club when I was younger. I love being in the swimming pool, but the sea scares me. That blue looks so different to that blue. I'm sure it's not, but anyway. So we've coloured in the, oh, I've got a fairy end again to use. Well, I'm going to have to buy myself some new pens. I think I've bought about 4 of these green ones in the past 6 months. Because no, not 6 months, because we've been in lockdown for 3. So let's say 9 months to a year, because we use them in class, and in my classes. So I have a few classes a month, and they get used quite a bit. Oh, this one feels like it's going to run out too. I hope not. Used to live, say, I do miss living in Yorkshire. It wouldn't work well actually when my children were growing up, you know, from teenage years, because where we lived, we actually lived a mile from the village. Our house was down a dirt track, a mile long dirt track, and there was one house on the way down the dirt track about half a mile, or maybe not, maybe more, away from us. I think it was probably 3/4 of a mile away from us, but that was the nearest bit of civilised society. There was nothing except fields surrounding us, and it was flat, so you could see for miles. We lived on in an old farmhouse with a couple of acres of land, and the farmland run by the farmers, you know. They used to have sheep and stuff. So my kids grew up, you know, in a lovely environment. But it wouldn't have worked so well when they were teenagers, because they would have wanted me to go up and down the dirt track 10 times a day to take them out, and that would have been hard. Okay, now it's Winker Stella time. I'm not going to be fussy doing this, just goes all over. I bet you think I'm crazy, I use this all the time. That mad woman's getting her Winker Stella out again. Always using Winker Stella. That's it. Now we're just going to cut these out. Sorry, this is pretty boring stuff to watch, but once these are cut out, it's quite easy to assemble the cards. Even though we're doing 2 cards today, it's going to be quite quick to assemble. This is quite a nice colour, this Balmy blue. I do like sort of baby blues. Some of the other blues that we do in Stampin' Up are really quite bold and bright. I think I've said before, I like subtle. Well, that is my comfort zone anyway, subtle. Subtle and sparkly. I think I'd describe my thing. Quite an easy, oh, chopped a bit into the leaf then, hey ho. Let's just trim that bit. So, forgot what I was going to say now. I suppose this would look really nice in a nice baby pink. I'd love some flowers in the garden that were this colour. I think the only blue plant I've ever had is my mum every year used to buy us some seeds called Morning Glory, I think it was called, and they were climbing plants. So you'd have to have them up against a fence, or you'd have to have like a little frame for them. But they used to come up and they used to flower like mad, and very, very pretty. Looked a bit like, oh no, I don't really want to say a pansy. It didn't, not like a pansy, but sort of very round petals. Sorry if you're getting bored. Quickest way. I'm not very good at putting a small border around things. I know some people can do it expertly, but then I sort of get lost, and I land up cutting near right close to the edge of the black lines. Almost there on this first one. Oh, done it there. I do hope I'm in shot. Oh, to check I'm still in shot. Yeah, don't want to go too far forward, too far back. You have to get about right, don't you? God, it is so muggy in here. It really is. I hope that storm happens pretty soon. Well, it can wait till I get indoors. I don't want it to do it while I'm out here in my studio, because I've got to get back indoors. Shame I didn't ask my husband to make me a tunnel from here to the house, so that I could come out here in all weathers. Mind you, I do anyway. It's not that far. But I'm usually carrying quite a bit of stuff when I'm coming out here. That's one. So that's the larger one. But this one shouldn't take us quite so long. I've had to stand up for a bit because I'm a bit scared that I've been cutting out and you've not been able to see what I'm doing. So I just lean my hands across the table and forget that I'm actually filming, apart from the fact I'm talking to myself. Really quite strange doing videos. Hope you're enjoying them. So I'm enjoying making the stuff for them and putting the videos out for you. But I am looking forward to my classes. I don't want to go back too soon though. It's really scary stuff, you know. never knowing if you're going to be safe or not, especially after we've been shielding for so long. Hasn't quite outside today. Seagulls have gone really quiet as well today. Don't know if that's got anything to do with the fact they might know that a storm's coming. You don't have to do what I'm doing and go right the way down. Some people just cut around the very outside and leave quite a bit of white space, but I don't like to do that. I probably won't go down right down that one. Or that one, because the thing is, you're putting it on a white card background anyway, so you're not going to notice that you haven't chopped that bit out, and no one's going to pick your card up and think, oh, she ain't cut that bit out. Say, anybody who receives a handmade card should think themselves lucky, because they are all made with love. Right, let's just get all that rubbish out of the way so that we can carry on. Okay, sorry that is so long-winded. That is a different colour. That one doesn't look so different. Maybe I'll just put a little bit of the blue, darker blue on there. Probably go and spoil it now, but whatever. I think that's all I can do, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with pen. Now that looks like I've gone over it, doesn't it? Let's just go over it again. It might actually darken it up a little bit. I'm not holding my breath though, because when it dries a lot lighter. That's better, like that. Okay, right, we're going to let's put that one to one side. That's the bigger one. Let's get that out of the way. It's all a bit muddled. I don't want it to be muddled. Okay, let's get this out. So we are going to put our base down. I'm going to put this mat on. Remember, not too much glue. So, then we're going to place your strip of blue. Look, the longest thing was doing the flowers. Probably about there. See if I can get this one straight. Just about there. That looks about okay, doesn't it? Make sure I put the right side on. I don't mind not putting it on the scalloped bit. You don't have to. Okay, no one's going to look at it and say that bit's sticking up, because it won't stick up. Right, now, what I should have done is do my sentiment first, because you know why? If I get that wrong, I'm going to have to start all over again. should have done it, and it'll be my own fault if it goes wrong. Keep your fingers crossed. Make sure I've got it out the right way. Hold your breath. Whew. Now, I want to emboss that. And I should remind myself to do the sentiment before I stick it back down. How many times have I done a card and got to the end and thought, all right, okay, I'll do a sentiment on it. Done it, I've done it upside down. Yeah, it's smudged. There we go. It's done. Phew. So you hold my breath or what? Now we're going to use this beautiful. Do you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to put a little bit of my glue pen, just a tiny bit, on all those little stains there. I'm going to dip it in my glitter because I can. There we go. To me that makes a world of difference. Look at that glitter. So now I'm going to place these on foam pads, on dimensionals. I'm not going to put loads on there, just a couple. I'm going to pop that there, like that. Or I could have done a bit better with my cutting out there. This is where I chop the flower off. Still no better, is it? I can hear you all screaming at me, leave it, leave it, leave it. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, I was forgetting that it's actually on a blue background, isn't it? That's going to bother me. Okay. And that's it, other than popping on your dimensionals with your, if I can find it, it's such a mess in here, it honestly is. Going to have a big one on here. On there. On there. That's your first card. Right. Just flicking some Wink of Stella, and I think it's working. Yeah. Beautiful. Don't suppose you can see the sparkle on there. No, you can't see it. And that is your first card. Okay. You can see it all sparkling away there. Not very happy with my colouring this time. Just cover some of that white up. It seems quite harsh against the blue. It's better. Got to go all the way around it now, haven't I? That's okay, that's better. That pleases the eye, for me. What I'm doing, I know I'm using the Winker Stella, but I'm actually just moving that ink around a bit. There we go. That's better. Once that dries off, that'll be beautiful. Lovely. So there's one. And we'll carry on now with this one. And again, you are going to need your base card, which is 14.8 by 21, scored at 10.5. That's in centimetres. Then you're going to have your mat, which is 14.3 by 10. That's going to sit on there. You're going to have your strip, which is 14.3 by 3 centimetres. And then you're going to have a strip of your die cut. I think I've shown you in another video how to actually make one of these in another video. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to do my sentiment so that it's done before I stick everything down. Just a quick, if I can find it, possibly just a quick flick with my embossing buddy. It's rather chaotic, isn't it, in here today? I don't know why. Right, that's that. And just put some embossing powder on it. And sorry people, just going to do some noise as quick as I possibly can. I think next time I'm going to make sure that I've done the embossing before I start. Right, that's that. So that's all done now. So I'm just going to put the card together. I'm going to do the mat first. White on white, I absolutely love. Not quite so easy to see. Okay, I'm going to use your strip. Just see where the cutting bit is there. You can actually get rid of that little raised bit when you cut by just running your bone folder over the top of it to flatten it. Got a bit of a raised edge there. Hopefully that's straight. I'm going to get my die cut piece. Can't see which piece that's. These make fabulous, you know, instead of ribbon, always find ribbon quite difficult to work with. Is that straight? Looks a little bit off to me, but it's going to have to do. Okay, and then we've got our flower, which I'm going to use just a couple. You don't need loads, then it's not going anywhere. These will hold it quite well. Right, how did I have this? Let's just pop it down like that. There you go. Again, very quick. I told you that it would be very quick once we'd done the colouring, because basically that is all it is. Is a quick flower. Put it there. Pop that on up there. Got one stuck to my finger. These are rather fiddly, aren't they? These tools are fabulous. I don't know if you've seen them before. They're dual, so you can actually pop that one back in there. Oops, and lock it. So it's got kind of like a scraper on that. You've got your pokey tool, and then you've got this fabulous thing at the end that's got like a bit like blue tack on the end. So if you're picking up sequins or anything, I mean, you can use them on these. Yeah, fabulous tool, pick-up tool. Anyway, that's it, ladies. That is my cards for today. I hope you, I haven't glittered this one. Now, should I? No, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it this time. I'm sure you've seen enough of me today. That's it. Thank you very, very much for hanging on in there with me. I'm sure it was a bit chaotic this time. Let's show you the cards that we've made. Yeah, it was a bit chaotic, but we got there in the end. Lovely, lovely set. I hope you're going to like these. Very clean and simple, but I love clean and simple cards. And I also like quick cards to make. I don't like to have to spend too long, because I've always got so many to do, so I like them to be quick. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you liked what you've seen today, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you've not already done so before, so that you can see what I'm doing every day, or not every day, but most days. If you would like to purchase any of the products that I've used today, I would love to help you on that. My online shop details are below under the show more section. There's my blog address, my which is twinkstampin.co.uk, or my shop. I'm on Instagram, Twinks Stampin' on Instagram. Yeah, or you can join my team if you like. The details are also on the bottom there. But I'm waffling far too much now, so I'm going to say thank you very much and goodbye.